Thank you so much, Pete and Dan. What an amazing little look back on the GameCube, Natty. How good was that console?
Oh man, I am just so pumped. Like I want to go and get my GameCube out right now, play some Mario Golf, some old school Animal Crossing. Like, let's just go. Let's
Let's
go.
go. And of course, we've got to pull out Melee, Smash
Oh,
Melee.
absolutely.
Can't
I
believe,
mean, that's
yeah,
sorry, you
no, I was going
go.
to say, I can't believe that game's still got a competitive scene. Like, how many years
Yeah.
later, and it's still going, and it's the preferred Melee for those, preferred Smash game for those players, man. It's so cool.
Yeah, well, you look at some of the older mainstream esports titles like League of Legends, and Melee beats it
Mm,
as far as time it's been around. So it's pretty cool,
pretty
pretty cool
damn cool.
console. Uh
So
Man, we,
good.
we were just saying we could go on for about it for ages, but we
We
won't
can.
because we know what the people are here for, don't
That's
we?
it. We're here for some esports news, and we do have some news for you today. Some just breaking today, but we'll get to that one a little bit later. First, we're going to talk Valorant OCE Tour 2021 Championship here in Australia. So that was played off over the weekend, and we have our winner, and it is drum roll. Oh, hang on. You know what? I'll play the clip. Let's play the clip
Oh,
because
let's play the clip. Yeah.
yeah, let's do that.
And now it's all on to Sicko to see what he can do in this 1 versus 3. Stuck at the stairs, and whilst he does manage to smash the disco,
he's got time.
he does have time, and he's locking down the order. They line up, but no Tux gets it. And folks, it's 13 to 8 over towards order.
Woo!
Well, there you have it. Order. Order take the series, win their 3-2. The games themselves were reasonably close, like 14-12, 8-13, 13-8, 7-13, and then 13-8. You can see in that last little clip we had there. So Peace was still right in it, and like I think Order just got a little bit ahead in that final round there, and just a little bit too far out of reach for Peace. So Order take home $8,000 for coming first. Peace take home $4K. Both teams get entry into the North American Last Chance qualifiers as well. So both of those teams getting some international representation there. So that's pretty damn cool, I think.
I thought it was quite interesting Order's lead into the grand final because they clean swept. They were, two zip, two zip, two zip, and against Peace as well, who got bopped down to the lower brackets and then managed to get themselves to the finals. So that obviously made it a really exciting tournament for everybody to tune into.
Mm. Yeah, like I often wonder about that sort of stuff because and I think we saw it for Peace in the LCO as well, where they came in through the lower bracket and took it. But do you want that little bit of a break and have to wait for other players where you could possibly relax too much and get a little bit out of touch, or do you want that rest so that you are fresh for the next game, especially one that goes best of 5 rather than best of 3?
I mean, I think in the case of where you have a team like Peace and as they were going through, they were clean sweeping. So you could kind of make an educated guess that they were going to be the ones in the finals, and you could spend your time game planning for them if you're coming up against teams that maybe I want to say you're looking over them, but you're not treating them as much of a challenge. So you can get your team working on what the final is going to be like. So that's where I see it as a little bit of an advantage potentially. But I don't think anybody ever wants to drop games. It's always, anything could happen in a game. So they're
That's
always going for the win, I think.
always best to do it first time round rather than have to rely on other results or
Yeah.
to give yourself extra chances to maybe not quite go so well.
None of this badminton business here.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. But it's great to see some more OCE representation overseas as well, because like we love our gaming and we want to make sure that we get represented on that world stage.
I'm still disappointed we don't have a direct entry slot that we
Yeah.
have to go and compete in the North American to see how we pull up in there. But maybe next year.
Maybe next year, yeah. Like it is hard because has a population's 24 million now, I think. Because it may be edging up to 25 million for the country as a whole. And like I can sort of see why we get treated a little bit that way, but you can't deny the passion of our players and our supporter base.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think we have very passionate esports fans. If we follow a team, we follow a team. Same with any other sport in Australia. You wear it on your sleeve. You wear your scarf to work.
That's it.
So, you know, fingers crossed, you know, we just keep building toward a future where esports is more a focus here, and we get those direct entry slots.
Mm-hmm. And I think we are getting there. I think there's a lot more recognition for esports, certainly with the venues that are getting built around the place, like Fortress Melbourne in Melbourne already. I know here in Perth we're having one built, and I think I heard Melbourne even is building some more esport or another esports venue as well. So it's great to see all that sort of stuff kicking off.
Yeah, absolutely.
More international news for Peace, although this one not so good. I saw on Twitter today that unfortunately Peace's top laner Appy is not able to make it to World. So this news broke from a Twitter account, Rita, reposting what Appy posted on Weibo, which is the Chinese social media site. It says, Peace top laner Appy announces he will miss 2021 Worlds due to pandemic. He can't find the ways to apply for travel visa to Iceland in Sydney. Embassy is closed. So the quickest way is back to China and have 14+7 quarantine, but the time is not enough. So what I'm taking that to mean is I'm guessing in all this Appy's a Chinese citizen, not a Australian citizen. So he would have to get his visa through the Chinese embassy, which is closed at the moment with the way things are going over east with their lockdowns and stuff. So that's very sad to see a competitor taken out like that.
Yeah, I think we discussed it last week with why can I not remember her name? The Aussie there was a woman who lives in the US working on a visa over there, but had come back to Australia to visit and was trying to get out of Australia. And she was having very similar issues with even trying to get an appointment at the Sydney embassy because she needed to extend her visa that had, expired. So she had to go to South America and then go to the US. So, you know, it's not a problem just in esports, but it's a significant one when you look at not getting the best players in the world to the stage in Iceland. It's obviously disappointing for everyone.
Yeah, further to that little announcement, part of what Appy wrote there also says, indeed, it is regretful and it is a pity. It is a blow to me and my team as well. I feel even I get the champion this year, it seems that I don't win. Luckily, the rest of my teammates with Australian citizenship can travel to Iceland and they will fight for Worlds with my dream and let everybody remember my name. The team will arrange a sub or foreign aid top to replace me to play the match. What is more, I sincerely hope everyone can support me in peace. I'm a pro gamer who was born in 1998 and it should be an elder player so that I don't know how many chances I will get in the future. To be honest, it is a severe blow to me, but my desire for the championship and passion for the game never diminished after seeing the veterans like, and I'm going to butcher this pronunciation, so I apologize in advance. Zhao, Icon, Doinb, and Flandre receive a satisfactory result. Therefore, I will never stop here.
Yeah.
So it's
and
it is a little bit hard, although it breaks my heart a little bit to hear he's an elder player at 98. Born in 98.
I was just doing the mental sums when he said 98. Like, gosh, that's not that old, is it?
23. Yeah.
Yeah, and, I mean, when you consider some players are retiring in their early 20s.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. And it's great to see that he's finishing on finishes the little statement bit here on a positive note and wants to really keep working towards it, because he's a competitor. He will keep fighting and he'll come back, and who knows what we'll see for him next split in the LCO.
Yeah, and I don't know if this is any kind of word of warning to any other players, especially international players that might be subbing in Australia. Next LCO season, at the beginning of the season, maybe teams need to be looking at getting everybody's visas updated and passports updated and everything they need, in preparation for a just in case scenario where they need to fly.
Yeah.
I'm assuming something unforeseen has popped up in this instance, but
I would say the unforeseen bit in this case would be Worlds moving from China to Iceland, because they were probably assuming that being a Chinese national that they wouldn't have any problem getting to Worlds, and then Worlds gets moved to Iceland, and it's just like, oh no, we need to get a visa for him now. But
I mean, I don't know if that's going to cause any issues for any other players that are Chinese nationals competing in other teams that aren't in Europe. If there's going to be any issues with that.
Yeah, I guess it depends on, because the issue is that the embassy's closed. So if the embassy is open, I would assume that you would be able to get the visa and whatnot sorted out. But it's a concern that I had, and it's always been in the back of my mind. Like we had Pentanet go across to Iceland earlier in the year, but then we had Knights get entry to Six Mexico Major and not be able to get over there as well, and never really found out the reasons behind that. But I was quietly scared that Peace might be in the same boat of not being able to get over there for whatever reason.
Yeah, I mean, it is good news that at least 4 of the team members can go, and I'm assuming they already have a sub in mind for who they're going to get to take the place. But absolutely devastating, because you're assuming that teams work together this season, and they've obviously had an up and down season. They've been through a lot together, so they would have been really well placed to take on the challenges at Worlds. So absolutely devastating.
But as well as that, ANZPL in World of Tanks rolls on for Season 3, and I do have to quickly show something. I did an unboxing video for this, but I was just very, very nicely surprised the other day when I opened my door and I had a nice little package from World of Tanks show up at my door. So it had
very nice.
Whole heap of nice little collectibles, including some munchies that I can have while watching it. Bubble wrap, of course, very important there. But one of the big things that I really loved is the coffee. Now, I'm not even a coffee drinker, and I'm tempted to crack this open and give it a try, because World of Tanks has entered into a partnership. They had it for Season 2 as well. But yeah, they've got a partnership with Ironside Coffee, and they've got this APCR blend that they've made with Ironside Coffee. And all the profits from this go to Legacy Australia, who are a charity that support the families of returned servicemen. So that's a really cool little thing. And if you like coffee, give it a shot.
You know what you need to do with that? Brew some up, put some in your next chocolate cake.
Ooh, and a chocolate cake.
It's so good. It makes it chocolatier. Pro tip.
I will keep that in mind. There you go. Natty's chocolate cake chips. But as part of that, ANZ Tanks have got a competition going at the moment where each week there will be 4 clips that get picked out for ANZPL hotshots, and you can vote on the one that you like the best, and there'll be weekly prizes for it, but the winner for the season will get a year's supply of coffee from Ironside. So definitely be something cool. So let's have a look at some of these clips. I think.
Let's go.
So this first one Actually, I've forgotten what it was called. What was it? Cleaning House. So this is from the Bulldog Scorpions game, which was the first one.
On ADP is in a really good crossfire position. Madhouse, though, is in a world of hurt. He's going to cop one.
So you can see these tanks just dump over onto Madhouse, and he doesn't have much of a chance there. And one bit of a lucky shot at the end takes Madhouse out of the game. And that's all that can be said for him. And clip number 2, Crit Conquered. So there's a player called Criticule.
Spotted as well, and that's going to be really bad news. A very
so you can see
unfortunate birthday present.
Sentinels coming in onto the Conquerors.
Wymo and I they pen their shots. I'm going to get him done. Cindy, I think, might have shot one in there as well. Perhaps an overcommitment of the shells. But overall, Sentinels get what they wanted. It's the tank out of the picture. Now they have 4 on 5. Speed comes off the hill. Rainbow from the backside of the TVP.
That's it. So that was sort of the beginning of the end for the Conquerors there for that round. It started falling pretty quick after that.
Really far up.
I love that map.
Sorry?
I love that map for how careful they have to use the hill rises and the ruins there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the cliff map, like the hill is key. Like once you get up there and you get the vision from there, you can control that map pretty much. Cool. This one between sorry, what was this clip called again? Bullseye between Natty's Action X and my Panthers.
Oh no, it's the Archers.
Oh, Archers, sorry. Archers, sorry. My bad. Look at that.
You need to fire.
What a shot that was.
Needs to get the hell out of there though.
Gets the reset, stops the cap, because that would have been that's what Archers needed to secure the win on that map. So that was well done there to stop the capture and take the win for that round. And then this one, Whiff It. You'll see in a minute why they call it Whiff It. Whip It here, facing off with CJ.
Oh wow, straight into it.
Yeah, but this was a really good little battle here. And then Whip It just misses.
Oh no.
Yep. So that this is the. I was about to say I thought the clip was going to end before that, but Whip It does end up winning that little fight there. But yeah, he could have made it finish a little bit earlier for to make that a little bit more comfortable, considering he finished on 15 health.
Yeah, those super close quarter battles. I'm just always like, I don't know how they managed to lock onto each other and do damage because they're just moving and tracking backwards and forwards.
Well, in a normal setting, that T100 that CJ was in would run rings around the Super Conqueror, but because they're in the water, the maneuverability is not as good. So the T100 would normally just be doing circles around the Super Conk and would probably get that win 9 times out of 10. But because they're in the water and he couldn't, but it just negates the speed advantage that it has, and Whip It was able to play for the win there.
Wow, 2000 IQ play right there.
And that's it. So there we have it. Our clips for this week's Hot Shots. Don't forget to get your votes in. But yes.
So where do people need to go to vote for that?
That is a good question. Hang on. I'm sure it'll say here somewhere. Here we go. Let's chuck.
You can chuck that link in chat for anybody who's...
Yep. Anybody wants to put in a vote, head on there. So that's in chat. It's also on the World of Tanks Twitter page, so you can get in and have a look there and put in your votes if you would like there. Cool. So we've seen the clips there. Let's have a look at the results for round 2 of World of Tanks. So Brisbane Bulldogs continue their winning streak after their 4-0 win in the first round. They beat the Sydney Scorpions 3-1. So that was a handy little win for them there. And North Sydney Sentinels as well bounced back from their tie loss the week before with a 3-1 win over the Christchurch Conquerors. Auckland Archers 3-1 over the Perth Panthers. And Adelaide Action next with points on the board against the Melbourne Matildas in a tiebreaker win there. So that's it. They're off the bottom there, Natty.
Heck yes. I was looking at the overall standings, which I'm assuming you're going to bring up in a second.
Yep. That's it. I
Very exciting.
It's all right.
Not to be on the bottom of the board.
Yeah, rub it in. I got with the interview that I did last week, I got called out afterwards about not having my my posters on the wall again, and got told, "Oh, you're disowning them now." So so I thought I better put the posters back up. So I'm showing my colours, Perth Panthers all the way.
Good man.
That's
man.
It. Unfortunately, with no wins, but hopefully that will. We've got the Bulldogs on the top with their 2 outright wins, and their 4-0 win in the first round puts them above on game difference there. Then we've got Auckland Archers, followed by North Sydney Sentinels, Melbourne Matildas and South Sydney Scorpions on 3 points each, Adelaide Action X with 2, and Conquerors and Panthers both sitting equal last there. So, but I think for the Panthers and the Conquerors, there's a chance for getting off the bottom there. So, because they both play this week. So, twitch.tv/World of Tanks ANZ for the matches this week, starting at 6 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. So, get amongst them. Auckland Archers versus the Brisbane Bulldogs first up. Matildas versus South Sydney Scorpions, Conquerors versus Panthers, and Sentinels versus Action X. So there's some pretty cool games happening right there.
Yeah, it should be an exciting big week this week. Lots of matchups, obviously, we haven't seen yet. So it'll be interesting to see how they go.
I'm keen to see the Matildas Scorpions game. I reckon that'll be a good one. Like Matildas coming off the loss there, but they've got some good players there, and Scorpions coming off the loss as well. And I think both Matildas got the win against the Sentinels, and Scorpions had the loss against Bulldogs. So it's a little bit unlucky to come up against a side as good as the Bulldogs this early, I think. So before you've had a little bit of a chance to settle. So I don't think the loss that the Scorpions has had is really telling of where they are. So I still think they're competitors, and Matildas as well. I would be surprised if both Scorpions and Matildas weren't playing some role in the makeup of the finals. Cool.
And now, how did you go with your fantasy picks this week? Well, last week.
I did actually pretty bloody well. So I was just sitting there thinking I programmed up the scene for this, but I didn't program up the button. So we got that. There we go. So this is in terms of the best team that you could have had. These are the players that you could have had that would gotten you the maximum amount of points. So you can see 3 Adelaide Action X players on there, Natty. They did pretty well last week, and Madhouse, even with that clip getting deleted out pretty early, he still scored pretty well, and Dastardly on there for the Panthers, as well as Speed. Speed's a former Action X player as well, moved to the Sydney Sentinels for this season, and Bales, who's been at Matildas for a couple of seasons now as well. So there's some pretty good names on there. Captain Cows is a new one for this season as well, so he's making an impact on the fantasy roster at least. So let's have a look at the standings. So for me, I jumped up quite a bit. I'm quite happy with that. I'm in the top 20 now.
Oh,
so,
that's exciting.
Yeah. So after my first week, I think I was sitting at 36, and now I'm up in 16.
Very nice.
And just to point it out, J-rated just down there. So, I'm just a little bit above J-rated, which is always good.
Yeah.
I don't
so disappointed. I missed my picks last week. Oh. Well, not last week, the week before. I'm currently in 90th. No. But well, I'll make it back over the season. I'll catch up.
Well, you're not last, so there you go. That's good. We can thank Nigel No Friends for that. But yeah, so I feel we're traveling pretty well, and like the star system that they got now for the picks, I think makes you think a little bit more.
Yeah. Absolutely. Are you going to make any changes to your picks for the lineup this week?
I did. I can't remember who I brought in and out, but I've put Madhouse in there, so he's my highest rated player. Lightning Man from the Panthers I've kept in there for a couple of weeks now, and he's scoring reasonably well for me, so I think let's...
Yeah, I had Lightning Man in for my picks. He's been picked 33.7%, so he's a favourite.
Yeah, and like last week he got 300, almost 400 points, so like I think that's a good pick to have in there for his 3 stars. AVP as well has featured fairly highly for the Bulldogs, and he's only a 3-star for his.
Wow, I had AVP too. There we go.
Look at that. And Dastardly and Aussie, but all those guys are figuring pretty highly at the moment. Dastardly, I think, with his 1-star pick, is criminally underrated at the moment, so definitely one to have a bit of a look at. And then for my subs, so with your reserves, if one of your main players doesn't play for that round, one of your reserve can come in, but it has to be replaced like for like. So like my 2-star can't replace my 1. Well, actually, in this case, it could replace my 1-star because I've got 1-star available. But if you were full 15 out of 15 stars, a 1-star couldn't replace a 2, or 2-star couldn't replace a 1-star. So, but yes, fingers crossed I can keep the pressure up. Maybe jump a few more spots. Maybe nab a top 10 spot. I don't know. Fingers crossed. Hoping.
That could be good. That could be good. Yeah, I'm having a look. I'm really happy with all my picks from last week, but I'll definitely see if there's any bargains. I'd like to have more Action X players on my side because I've currently only got 1, which is just not good enough. I need more representation in there.
That's it. Well, you can only have 2 from the same team as well, so that makes things a bit easier.
Yes. Yeah. How dare I not be able to take just my home team? Come on now.
Just like the whole team in there, please. Please and thank you, sir. Yeah.
Can you just imagine that? Shoo. If you pick the team that smashes that week.
I was talking to, like, from the interview with JT that we did last week, I was talking to him about his fantasy team, and he's going, I picked myself and then I had a shit game and my fantasy team suffered for it. So, just serves him right for picking himself. But we do have a bit of a chat with CJ, who's the captain of the Adelaide Action X that I had yesterday with him. We've got that pre-recorded there, which we will go to fairly shortly. Thank you for joining us tonight. Had a really great little chat. Great to see some results coming through for the Australian Valorant community. And also remember, tune in Friday night, 6 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time for more World of Tanks.
Excellent. Thank you, Jim. Great night as always.
Always. And we'll catch you next time. Bye. Welcome everybody to Nuts and Bolts, Game On Oz's esports show, and I'm joined today with captain of the Adelaide Action X, CJ. How are you doing, CJ?
And not too bad yourself?
Oh, you can't complain too much. It's been a good time of year. We get to watch all these wonderful tanks fights happening at the moment, and it's been a bit of a little mixed bag to start with you guys. First week you had that loss against the Bulldogs, but I feel you're probably a little bit unlucky to come up against them so early on in the season, but at least it gets it out of the way.
Yeah, we ideally would have liked to verse them a bit later in the season when we've kind of bonded a bit more as a team, considering we have a few more newer players to the roster. But yeah, it is what it is.
And Bulldogs didn't have any changes, so that was like they're going in with a pretty solid lineup that have been playing together for a bit. And it does take a little bit of adjustment, but you seem to be doing all right, because the week after, last week just gone, you've got the tiebreaker win against the Matildas.
Yeah, I feel like we definitely got a bit lucky on that one with a few things going our way, but yeah, it was good overall.
You could say they got a little bit lucky the week before with them getting their tiebreaker win, but it was definitely good to see those tiebreakers come into play now rather than just getting the draw. It makes it a little bit more exciting, I feel, because the that 2 points you get for the tiebreaker win instead of the 1 point you get for a draw could count for a lot at the end of the season.
Oh, exactly right, and it would change up the standings a lot as well. Especially even if you lose that tiebreaker, you still get that 1 point.
That's it. So it's still, even the loss and the tiebreaker, you come away with points, and it puts that distance between you. So like already there's a little bit of a gap starting to open up between the two bottom teams who haven't got any points just yet, and that middle of the pack. But we do want to talk about a couple of moments from your game. So this first clip we're going to look at is actually part of the ANZPL Hot Shots, thanks to Ironside Coffee, where if you go to the World of Tanks ANZ Twitter page, you can actually vote for your best moment there. There's weekly prizes that you could win, and also a season prize of a year's supply of coffee from Ironside. So definitely get it. I actually, I got a little bit of a care package from ANZPL today, and actually got some of my own coffee there that I'm keen to try out, see what that's like. And even if you want to buy it, all proceeds from it, all profits, go to Legacy, who are a charity that help out the families of returned servicemen as well. So that's really cool. But let's have a quick look. This first one. So
We'll trade a bit of HP.
let the clip play first.
In onto Arnie Noob, and he does. Now he can send out Whippet. He's got more than enough time. He's got enough HP as well, and the DPM might well favor CJ here. Whippet will need to bounce 1 or 2 shots. CJ has got to make sure that he pens all of his. The first goes into the track, repaired by Whippet, but CJ, now in the one-on-one, has it on the line for Action X, and he might be able to pull it off.
Yeah, he's going to go in, try to get the flank around at the moment. Might have to rely on HE. Have to go for the engine tech to get the damage out at the end of the day. Trying to turn the turret, but Whippet's going to be landing these shots. The Superconk will have more than enough DPM. CJ not going for the HE. He's just going to go for the straight all-out brawl, trying to see if he can find something. But Whippet, he misses a shot. He's only got 2 more chances.
He fired HE into the ground, and CJ now needs to get 1 or 2 more shots in. It'll take 1 more. Who gets the reload? That's the real question. Is it Whippet? Yes, it is. By 50.
So unlucky in the end there, CJ. But can you talk us through a bit about what your thought process it was there for that little bit of a play?
Yeah, so initially, a bit early before in that clip, I spotted both of them out from a set of bushes, and I didn't get spotted. So I thought if I can do the climb up onto the hill and then approach them from an angle they wouldn't really be expecting, I could take the CS out, which I did manage to do. And then I could isolate the fight to a 1v1. Unfortunately, in that clip as well, that first shot that actually went into the track, I aimed at the drive wheel, so I was expecting it to track and do damage. But unfortunately, it didn't go that way. And that's how the dice rolls, unfortunately.
I was gonna ask you about that, because that tracking shot in the opening shot against Whippet there, that was, I feel, a kind of key, especially because Whippet had the repair tank there, or the repair kit there, to be able to fix the track as well. So the tracking itself really didn't accomplish too much, but an extra damage shot would have potentially won you that little one-on-one there.
Yeah, and because of that, I kind of had to force that fight right next to him, in which because it was in the water, I couldn't directly circle him, so I had to kind of wiggle next to him to hope his gun depression would make him miss the shot on the turret, which it did for 1 shot, but that's all, unfortunately.
But a very close battle in the end, and probably he finished on 15 health with it, so that's got very, very close indeed, and just a little bit. It's just one of those things, I guess, where the rolls go one way, and sometimes you come out on the lower end.
Yeah, exactly right.
And second clip that we got here. So after that match, you guys ended up at a 2-2 tiebreaker with the tiebreaker map being Himmelsdorf, and do you know how they decide who goes on attack and defense? Yes. Who chooses that?
So pretty much the person that gets, or the team that gets to choose if they want attack defense. Firstly, it's based off whoever had the quickest attack win, and because there was no attack wins in our match versus Matildas, it then goes off who did the most damage on their attack, which ended up being that game that I lost the 1v1. So we got to choose the side we got to play.
Yep. Cool. So you took defense on Himmelsdorf, and let's just have a look at the what probably turned out to be some of the closing out moments of that match.
You have to explore the map, try to figure out where you're going to go as a super conk, and this is where you have to dive deep and go, all right, is he going to maybe take hill? Do I wrap all the way back around to hill? Do I go back to base? What do I clear out? Do I start a bit of cap pressure? I don't think the cap pressure is going to work because, as I said, problem is that it gives the super conk the initiative. The 50B player is the one that needs to take the initiative right now to catch the super conk by surprise, and the super conk might just get lit through the window as Whippet's going to come across.
Maybe not. Looks like Captain Cows has managed to get across, and again, Whippet's going to go back up to the north. He's going to go to that 2 flag. Captain Cows will not see him, but Whippet, at this point, is starting to run out of options. 1 minute and 20 seconds left on the clock. Captain Cows in the Super Conqueror. Like I said, he's kind of swindled him. He's just bamboozled him. Whippet has no idea where this Super Conqueror has gone. He's still searching. He's going to go look at the hill. That's the wrong place, Kev. And you're going to watch this replay back as Whippet, and you're going to be thinking, why have I gone hill? I mean...
So yeah, so that ended up with you guys getting the win there after the timeout, because really it was all on Whippet there to try and find where Captain Cows was. Did Captain Cows have any idea where Whippet was? Because neither of them seemed to get lit in that little exchange there. And
So
yeah, sorry, go on.
So originally we thought he went out towards the train line to circle back in because we assumed he would think Cows was still around the cap circle. So we assumed he went out towards the railway station. So we got Cows to go to the other side of the map and kind of play more time, assuming that he would hop on the cap. Unfortunately, he never did. So yeah, we just end up kind of just getting Cows to run away.
Yeah, so getting a little bit lucky that Whippet didn't sort of guess the right way if he'd gone, or even spot out on that little cross that was happening there, because yeah, that could have been quite a tense little moment if Whippet all of a sudden became aware of where Captain Cows was.
Oh, 100%. And because it's a 50B, the S-Conk actually loses that trade in the end.
So what are their comparative speeds like? So as soon as Whippet found out where Captain Cows was, that it was going to be running him down?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
If Cows got spotted at all, the only way for the S-Conk to actually win that would be get an early shot before the 50B is close enough to get his whole clip off. Because the 50B could have killed Cows in 6 seconds.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So yeah, we really did not want Cows to get lit at all if possible.
Definitely not there. But he didn't get spotted, and Whippet ended up going up the hill, and Captain Cows evaded, and he took out the tiebreaker win there, giving you the 2 points and getting you was into what was it? Sorry, I'm just having a quick look at the ladder, getting you up into 6th place. So that's really good after the loss against the Bulldogs the previous week. Getting points on the board, that must feel pretty good.
Yeah, 100%. That first week was definitely a rough one for us. It didn't have us feeling the best, but that last game was definitely a big confidence boost for us going into our next match.
That's cool. And the next match is also going to be a big one for you against the Sentinels. That's they got the tiebreaker loss in the first week against the Matildas, but then came back with the 3-1 win against Scorpions last week. So how are you approaching this game?
We're definitely approaching this game very differently to our other ones. We're definitely taking a very new approach, I would say. We've been brainstorming pretty hard, and we think we've got some pretty interesting things to throw at Sentinels.
Are the VZs making an appearance? Because they seem to be people just sort of trying them out as a new tank to see what strategies they can play.
It will depend on map choices, but VZs are definitely very situational, and could possibly see them depending on the maps.
That's it. We don't want to give too much away, just in case the Sentinels are watching this and trying to get some insights on that. So that should be a very interesting game. Very keen to see how that plays out on Friday night. But quickly, lastly, before we go, we've got to speak about the fantasy team. And you guys in the top 7 for last week, you had 3 players, so that's pretty damn good.
Yeah, obviously when we're playing, we're not really focusing on Fantasy League too much, but it is always nice to get up there.
Yeah, well, generally, if you're getting up there, it means you've done something right. It means that you've got some good strats and putting people in position to deal a lot of damage. So that's always really good to see.
Yeah, 100%.
And especially like it helped you get the map, well, the defense or offensive choice on the tiebreaker map, which was always advantageous to be able to have that pick.
Yeah, exactly. And if with that side choice, it definitely adds a bit more pressure because, you've had that choice. But yeah, it was good that our players were able to perform well.
That's it. So how's your fantasy league team going?
It's not going too bad. I definitely made up a lot of points last week, but the first week was a bit rough for me on points wise.
You didn't do a JT this week and pick yourself in your team, did you?
I did. I always pick myself, actually.
Back yourself in.
Exactly.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, I must admit I did much better this week. I was very, very happy to see. I think I've jumped up into like the top 20 now, and I think I was 36 after last week. So I'm very happy with that, and I'm very, very interested in this star system that they've got going on, because it means you can't just choose the best players all the time. You've got to have got to know the mid-range players to be able to fill out your team.
Oh, 100%. I personally think 5 stars are a waste of time picking. But yeah.
You know what? That's sort of been my strategy, sort of more going for the 3 and 2 stars and maybe a 4-star in there, just to keep the team a little bit more balanced, I think. That's been my strategy.
Yeah, so I actually go 2 4 stars, 2 3 stars, and 1 1-star.
Oh, nice. Yeah. But yes, be very interesting to see how the games play out in this week of World of Tanks ANZ. CJ, thank you so much for joining me, and good luck against the Sentinels.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for stopping by to watch this video. If you like what you've seen, why not check out this video here? Or if you really like us, drop us a subscribe. And don't forget to like and comment as well. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.